Hello guys, this is Aniket Bera. Uh, I'm Aniket Bera from SIDTM. We are conducting this webinar on Snap, how to manage time. And my background is I'm a BTech engineer. I have completed my BTech with electrical engineering from KIT University Bhubaneswar. Post that, I have also worked in a startup company named Revigo for 1.5 years. After that, I switched to Amazon, where I worked as a data analyst for 2.5 years. And now here I am SIDTM. And I am with my friend Navneet, who is going to introduce himself.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Navneet Wagmare, and I have pursued my graduation in BCom in computer application. I am a fresher, and I am currently pursuing my MBA in SIDTM, and I have currently chosen the specialization in marketing and finance. Today's our agenda is time management in SNAP exam.
Okay. Navneet, can you share the slides?
Is my screen visible?
Yeah, your screen is visible now. Yeah, so we'll be starting with the registrations process of the SNAP 2022. So the registrations actually had started in August, which is like past date. And the last date to apply and registered for SNAP 2022 is November 24th, which is just 9 days from today. And the admit cards for the SNAP examination will be available for the SNAP 1 from December 5th. And the snap test 2 and test 3, the admits will be available from December 10th.
So as you know, SNAP 2022 is conducting 3 SNAP tests. The first SNAP test is on 10th December. The second test will be on 18th, and the third test will be on 23rd December. You all can apply for all the 3 slots, and the announcement of the result will be on 10th January 2023. This would be the first time that you will get a chance and opportunity to sit for the 3 SNAP attempt, and this would be conducting on the same pattern, 60 minutes 60 questions, like it is started from 2020.
Okay, so I'll discuss about the structure of the test. So basically it remains the same as the previous year. There will be 60 questions and you will be allotted 60 minutes. And as you know, it will be a computer-based examination. You have to reach the admissions, like the examination center, and you have to give the examination on a computer. There would be 1 mark awarded for each correct answer, and there will be 0.25 marks reduction for every wrong answer. And as we have mentioned, there will be 3 attempts. So that's good.
Also, there, if you don't attempt any answer or question, there would be no negative marking the answer that would you leave. Moving ahead, the aim of today is time management for SNAP exam. There are 3 sections in SNAP 2022. That is verbal ability, logical reasoning, and quantitative ability. Verbal ability consists of 15 questions. Logical reasoning consists of 25 questions, and quantitative ability consists of 20 questions. Let's have a brief about them all.
Okay, so I'll be discussing about the verbal ability questions. And there will be questions in different difficulty levels. The first one, that is the most easy ones. There will be few questions which will be very easy, which you can just solve just with a glance, or having a glance at the questions. And there will be questions whose difficulty level would be varying between easy to moderate, which would require a bit of time. And then there will be moderate to difficult, and the last, there will be few difficult questions as well. So what we suggest over here is that the easy questions, they're not going to take much time. Like once you have a look at the questions, you will be able to solve them. Just target those questions and try to complete them within 30 seconds. And the questions that fall under the second category, that is easy to moderate, try to invest a bit of 10 to 20 seconds more than the normal ones, the easy ones basically. And don't invest more than 40 seconds on those type of questions as well, because the ability questions are anyway easy, comparing to the other sections, and they consume much less time as well. Now coming to the questions which are moderate to difficult, like para jumbles, error detection. So these kind of questions, like they might take a bit of time, but don't invest more than 50 seconds. That is suggested by us as per our previous experience, what we have given the examination last year. And there would be few difficult questions as well. So basically there might be like few questions with synonyms. There would be like fancy words with synonyms, which with basically the challenge would be more like, like there would be four different options. So in those questions, what happens is like, if you even if you understand the particular word, which will be a bit difficult, but what happens is like, uh, I tell from my personal experience, there was one particular word which had four different options with like the options are very similar. So basically, like you have to choose between the absolute right synonym which goes fit to fit with that particular word. So these questions are actually a bit difficult because of the options actually. So go slow, try to read and try to put that word in a particular sentence, and try to analyze which word would go perfectly in that particular situation and answer accordingly. And the suggestion would be, don't waste more than 60 seconds on any question, especially in the verbal ability section, because that is the most easy section. And try to wind it up within 12 to max 10 to 12 minutes. Yeah, now
Adding
the
to
next
that,
first.
adding to that, what Aniket said, that in verbal ability section from 2020 onwards, there is no RC which has appeared in the verbal ability section. But please don't neglect RC. Do keep practicing RC, because Snap is an unpredictable exam and any surprise element can surprise you there. So you have to keep your reading habit up, and you can read word normal use word par made easy for your grammar, and you can read the editorial page of newspaper like Times of India and the Hindu for your better reading comprehensions. Next, we will move to logical reasoning. Logical reasoning section also has moderate to easy, easy to difficult, and moderate to difficult and difficult questions. So in logical reasoning, there are types of questions like blood relation, binary logics, symbol calendars, coding, decoding, and these are types of questions which are easy. So you don't have to waste more than 30 seconds on solving these types of questions. The moderate questions would be verbal analogy, quant-based reasoning, arrangement and distributions. That would take you, I guess, 50 seconds. I would, in my time, I would solve it in 45 to 50 seconds. And the difficult one is paper cutting and folding, and basically quant-based reasoning, which would have a bit more calculation. So I would suggest you that you should practice the sets that are coming in the logical reasoning section, and you should solve the sets that are coming and practice the same similar sets that would give you a type of uh, imagination and logic that you would solve in the logical reasoning section. Also, you should do puzzles and brain teasers that would help you excel in the logical reasoning section.
Yeah, the next part is the quantitative ability. This is somehow my favorite section because like I love maths. So there are different topics actually over here, varying from the difficulty level that starts from easy to moderate to difficult. So the easy part mostly falls with arithmetic part, or like the mensuration part at times as well, where you just need to put the formula and you'll just find out the answer very easily. There are no like complicated calculations. So those questions, you can solve them with one single glance. So never waste more than 30 seconds on those kind of questions. There will be very few these kind of questions. So try to figure them out and solve them. Second, the easy to moderate sections like geometry or simplification or algebra, those kind of questions might take a few moments, and you need to like put the formula and then uh, mm, like analyze the question, like apply the formula, simplify, and then solve it. Okay, so just don't waste more than like don't go ahead more than 40 seconds on those kind of questions. Then there are a few questions that falls under moderate to difficult. uh, from my past experience, like even in arithmetic part as well, there are few questions where like there will be combination of two three formulas, after which you will get the answer. So these kind of questions, it is not tough. It's just you need to identify the correct formulas and the shortcuts, and you can solve them within 50 seconds. So ensure that you are not crossing more than 50 seconds for these questions as well. And lastly, there will be few difficult questions as well. And these kind of questions mostly comprises of pie charts, then like probability, where you need to read the question multiple times to understand what is the exact like how to reach to the exact answer. So these questions also ensure that you are not crossing more than 60 seconds. So that like if you are investing more than 60 seconds in these kind of questions later on, like there would be a few easy questions which obviously would not like to miss out on. Yeah, so that is the quantitative ability. Yeah,
Also,
Navneet, you can
Aniket,
go ahead.
we would avoid the using of calculator, and we should make a formula sheet so that we could remember and revise the formulae every time we do a question. So that would be very much helpful in the preparation. So there are 25 days left for the SNAP exam. So here are some questions we would like to solve with you. So the verbal ability question, which is the first one, is easy level. So we would solve it right now. So the river Thames flows dash London. So the river Thames flows dash. So the answer would be the river Thames flows through London. It would take rather only 10 seconds to solve. This is the easy question. And the second word is the teacher gave the student a piece of her mind. The option is the teacher advised the student, the teacher scolded the student. The teacher scolded the student would be the right answer. And the third one is the difficult one. I guess I can crack this. Identify the appropriate synonym of the word phlegmatic. Phlegmatic basically means not easily made up angry. The person who cannot get easily angry. I think the right answer is impassive. So impassive is the person who is calm and who does not show any expression. So the answer for the third one, difficult one, would be impassive. Coming
Right.
to the next section would be, yes, Aniket.
Yeah. So like the next part is the quantitative ability, where I would solve these three questions along with you. So the first, the easy section sum. This is a particularly sum that comes from algebra mostly. So the question is that the sum of two numbers is 30 and the product is 60, and we have to find the sum of their reciprocals. So basically, if you consider a particular number as a and the second number as b, so we can put the formula a plus b is equals to 30 and ab is equals to 60, and the sum of reciprocals of these two numbers would be 1 by a plus 1 by b. So basically, when you solve 1 by a plus 1 by b, it's ab by sorry, a plus b by ab, and the sum will come into 30 by 60 and the answer will be half. This is a question you can just have a look and solve it within 30 seconds. This is the like one of the most easiest sums that you can expect in Snap. Secondly, the medium level question that comes from average. This is also a part of arithmetic. So the average height of the first 6 students is 170. The average height of the last 8 students is 175 centimeters. And the average height of the total 16 students is 180 centimeters in the class. So we have to find the average height of the rest 2 students. So this is a kind of sum where you have to calculate between the total number of like I'll do it. I'll solve it. Basically, you have to do 2-3 multiplications. It's not going to get resolved with one particular calculation. So it starts with where you can put like the sum of first 6 numbers, that happens to be 170 into 6, that is coming 1020, and then you have to find out the sum of the last 8 students, the height of the last 8 students, basically that is 175 into 8, that is 1400. And now we can find the like the total height of all the 16 students, that is 180 centimeters into 16, that comes 2880 centimeters. Now from the total like total sum of the total number of students height, which is 2880, we have to subtract the first 6 and the last 8, so that we can get the total of 14 students. Now when you subtract this from 2880, that is the total, you get 460 centimeters. That is the total height of two students. Now the question is find the average height of the rest of the two students. So basically 460 divided by 2, that comes 230 centimeters. So basically the answer would be option 2, 230 centimeters. This is a bit of medium level question that might take around 40 to 50 seconds, but don't invest more than that. Okay, these are questions. It's basically mathematical calculation. Okay, and try to do the calculation very with a sane mind and very calm mind, because a single error in the calculation is going to give you a wrong answer, and that will waste double the time. Okay, and now coming to the third question. Now this is kind of a difficult question because it involves arithmetic and mensuration as well. Okay, so the question goes: a hollow iron pipe is 21 centimeters long and its external diameter is 8 centimeters. The thickness of the pipe is 1 centimeter and the iron weighs 8 grams per centimeter cube. So we have to find the weight of the pipe. So over here, we consider a cylindrical pipe which is hollow in between, and the external diameter is 8 centimeters. So basically the radius is 4 centimeters, and it is mentioned that the thickness of the pipe is 1 centimeter. Here comes the trick. It is the thickness of the pipe is 1 centimeter, which means that it is not that the internal diameter or internal radius is 1 centimeter. It is basically the subtraction of the two radius. So if the radius of the external circular circle is 8 centimeters, 4 centimeters, the inner one would be 4 minus 1, that is 3 centimeters. Now we have to take to find the total volume, we have to take pi 4 square minus 3 square and multiply it by the height of the cylinder, that is 21 centimeters. And if we do that, we get 462. So basically 462 centimeter centimeter cube would be the total volume of the pipe. And when we multiply it with the density, that is what is given, 8 grams per centimeter cube, the answer comes 3696 grams. So the first option, that is 3696 grams, is the correct answer. Basically, this is a bit of difficult question because of the formula, the calculation, all these things. You can't solve the problem without knowing the formula, and the trick lies between the external and internal thickness. So you have to consider that as well. So these kind of questions generally take a bit of time, but if you are doing it in a proper manner, calculated manner, it will not take more than 1 minute, and hence can solve it within 1 minute. That's it. Yeah, Navneet, you can go to the next section.
Coming to the logical reasoning basically comes in a set of questions, like 2 questions in a set, 3 questions in a set, or they also come in a single type of question. So there would be also varying the level of difficulty. Some are easy, some are medium level of difficulty, some are difficult. So this question, which is of maps, I guess direction questions, it is like Rohit walks to 25 meters towards south, then he turns to his left and walk 20 meters, then he turns to his left and walk 25 meters. So basically what we have to do in this question is that we have to draw a diagram from which the Rohit is standing, the starting point of the Rohit. From that he moves towards south, which 25 meters. After that he turns to his left and moves 20 meters. So from his south he moves towards his west, and after that he walks 25 meters against in the left direction. So basically the distance between his walking starting point and the final point would be the same at this given point. And after that he turns towards right and he walks again 15 meters in the same direction. So when you draw the figure and you add the starting point, so the 20 meter, which is the between the starting point and the turn which he take at the last moment, is 20 centimeter and 15 centimeter. So adding 20 centimeter and 15 centimeter, you get the answer 35 centimeter. It is an easy question and you would require not more than 30 to 40 seconds to solve this one. Coming to the second one, which is the medium level of difficulty, it is I think a blood relation level question. So A plus B means A is the daughter of B. A into B means A is the son of B. A minus B means A is the wife of B. So if P into Q minus S, which of the following is true? So so if A plus B means A, then P into Q minus S means P is the son of Q, who is the wife of S. That is, P is the son of S, or we can also say that S is the father of P. So the answer would be 2. S is the father of P. This question generally needs some more practice, and you need to draw the table that who is the father of who is the daughter of who is the mother of whom, and by the drawing the table you could find the answer very easily, and you could solve this question in 45 seconds or something. Coming to the third question, which is of difficult level, you have to find the wrong term from the given series. So this is the alphabetical series in which the order is F, B, D, F, F, G, K, J, J, P, N, M, U, R, P, A. You know that every alphabet represent a number. So if you put these alphabets in a series like F, D, B, D, F, below that is F, G, K, below that J, J, P, and below that N, M, U, and below that R, P, A. And you basically calculate the what number of, like B represent 2, D represent 4. So adding B and F, the difference between B and F is 4, and the difference between F and N is 4, and simultaneously the difference between N and R is 4. But the difference between R, P, and A is not the same like the previous four before. So the wrong one would be the A, R, P, A. This would require a minute or so because it is difficult, and you would take time to think that what logic would fit in this type of question. So it also requires practice. But if you have done that alphabetical series questions perfectly, it would you would think it in a bit of second, and you would find the logic very quickly. So this kind of question you find may be tricky, but if you know the logic, you can solve it very easily. Moving forward.
Yeah. So basically, like, there are a few points that we would like to suggest, like how to manage the time. So there are a few tips over here. Like the first tip that I would like to mention over here is that attempt the strong section first. Attempt section which you are most comfortable in, be it any section. You might be comfortable with VA, you might be comfortable with LR, or you might be comfortable with QA. So choose your niche domain where you are strong, and accordingly go for that particular section first. And the second point that I would like to suggest from my past experience, which I feel that even though I am, I feel I'm better in QA than in VA. My suggestion is that completing VA actually gives you a bit of advantage, because you have this thought at your back end that this particular section won't be taking more than 10 to 12 minutes, and if you finish one particular section, that gives you a confidence that now I have only 2 sections left. So if it is possible for you, and if you can manage it within 10 to 12 minutes with practice, then I would suggest that go with this particular section first. And the third point is that don't spend more than 1 minute on any doubtful question. So basically what happens is, like, the human tendency is, once you are going with a question and it is not getting solved, what is the normal human tendency? That just invest 10 more seconds, 20 more seconds, it will get solved. But if it is not happening within the stipulated time, the suggestion is that leave that question, mark it, and if you have, like, if you're left with amount of time at the later section of the examination, come back to this particular question. But don't keep on investing more than 60 seconds to like 70 seconds max for one particular question. Now the fourth point that we generally use mostly for the QA section is the elimination method. Like, when you are going for an, okay, I'll give an personal experience. So basically, for one mensuration question that I had faced during the examination, there were 3 answers. The answers were ranging from, like, one was I had to find the total area of a particular hollow cube, basically. So I had to do multiple calculations. But when I was putting the formula, the ultimate answer of the question, I could find that the answer would not be more than 3 digits. But there were options of 4-digit answers for 3 options, and there was one single option with answer of 3 digits. So that made it very easy to identify which is the correct answer, and I did not require to calculate into more details. So this is one also very good method to invest, like save more amount of time. Yeah, Navneet, you can go with the next slide.
So tips for better time management. So here are some basic tips which you should keep in mind, that only 25 days are left for snap attempts. So you could use this all tips while solving your mocks. So firstly, the first tip would be attempt stronger section first. I know most of you would be comfortable doing in quants, or some of you would be comfortable in doing LR, or some of might of you would be comfortable in verbal ability section. But I think the most important thing is that if you attempt your stronger section first, you get a confidence boost, and the confidence boost would help you in gaining a huge time boost, and that would eventually save your time. Try to complete verbal ability section in 10 to 12 minutes. I know verbal ability section is very easy. It is basically some grammar questions, but you would solve it in 10 to 12 minutes anyhow, because you would require more time for the logical reasoning and quant section. Again, same tip, that is, don't spend more than 1 minute, because snap is a 60-minute 60 question exam. You don't have any time to waste on anything, so please don't spend any more than 1 minute on any question that you are not doubtful and you don't know how to proceed with it. And as my friend said, that use elimination method, which is very useful, and it will help you to get the answer easily. Aniket?
Yeah, Navneet, go ahead with this slide as well.
No, you take this one.
Okay. So basically, there are another few tips for time management as well. The fifth point would be in quant section, leave the calculative and lengthy questions for last. What happens mostly over here is like there are few questions that would anyway take more than 1 minute. How much ever you practice, there would be few questions, maybe out of 60, it will be 5. So those particular questions, those questions you need to actually identify, and it is not something that can be trained from before. You have to identify those set of questions during the examination, and the suggestion from our side would be leave those questions for the last. Okay, because ultimately, if you are investing more time on that, you might be able to solve it. There is high probability that you will solve it, but the amount of time that will be consumed will, like, you will miss out on few easy questions. There is a probability. So this is a suggestion. And also, like, stay away from spending too much time on single question, which is quite relative to the previous point. So basically, if you're getting stuck with one particular question, like, ensure that you're not like investing more than 60-70 seconds on the particular question, because ultimately, again, you're going to lose out on few easy questions, which you definitely would not want. Now, the next point would be start practicing questions with a 1 minute timer. This is something that we have suggested from our personal experience. What happens is, like, during the examination, these last 2 points that we discussed now, that is a very psychological thing, because if you have this particular push at the hindsight of your brain that, array, like, if we invest more than like just 10 more seconds, 20 more seconds, we are going to solve it. But that's not the case during the examination. In that process, you start building 10, 20, 30, and ultimately waste a minute. And if you are wasting a minute, the easy questions that take more than, like, that takes around 30 seconds, you are losing out on 2 marks, and 2 marks in snap will, like, cost you more than 10 percentile, maybe more than that as well. And you might lose, like, there is a high probability you lose out on your choice of colleges or anything, right? So this is one practice that I would suggest. And practice and give at least 10 mocks to improve your speed and accuracy. This is something that is suggested by anyone, like, who is giving the examination, any kind of examination. So it's basically suggested that solve and practice and solve more and more set of questions. That gives you confidence. And also, one thing is suggested, like, do this like finish these kind of sets within a stipulated time. My personal suggestion that I used to do is that if the question, like the snap examination was for 60 seconds, I used to sit with a timer of 50 seconds, and I used to finish by then. There would be few questions I would be missing out on, and I would assess myself on the basis of that. You can pick up like snap mocks anywhere from any of the like reputed or like that is a completely your personal choice from where you want to pick those kind of set of questions. There's no suggestions from our side. And accuracy, like basically once you practice doing these kind of questions, that builds your confidence and like improves your accuracy as well. That ultimately benefits you at the examination. That's it. Yeah, Navneet.
So coming to the do's. Point number one, keep a track of time while solving questions. As my friend Aniket said, that you have to keep the track of every time, because time is the most crucial element in the snap exam. One question, if you spend more than 1 minute, let's say there is a quants question, but your ego comes in the place and you think that you have to attempt this question because you know that I know how to solve the questions. I was giving one of my mocks and I thought that I know this question, and I just got stuck in the question and I wasted 15 minutes on solving that, and the whole mock got wasted and I scored very less in that mock. So from that lesson I learned is that I can't afford to give more than 1 to 1.5 minutes on any question, no matter what the question is. Number two would be identify the common set of question and try to solve them. When you are giving multiple mocks, you know that these questions have these concepts and these questions have that some common thing. Like in LR, we have 2 to 3 sets of question in which there is common thing to solve. And in quants also there are the similar things you need to solve, and you need to guess, like you have to apply some formula, you have to apply some equation, you have to solve some equation. So try to identify that, and you know your strength and your weaknesses. So if you know that, you identify that, attempt that, and move on to the next question. The third point, I have already told that start with the question you are most confident, comfortable, and you are strong about it. So it will give you a mental boost, and it will eventually you will end up doing the paper confidently and solving the all question. Number fourth would be start solving question with 1 minute timer again. And the most important thing, time is the most crucial factor in this examination. So please practice with 1 minute timer, because practice makes man perfect. Next slide. Yes,
Absolutely,
Aniket.
Navneet. Yeah. So there are few don'ts as well, which we need to follow basically. The first point over here is that do not waste time on one single question, as we have mentioned before or discussed as well. So when you are spending time with one particular question, the thing that you're missing out is on the time. And that particular time is like was reserved for the other questions. And if one question is not getting solved, it is very evident that the difficulty level of that particular question is a bit higher, right? So just like skip that question, keep it marked, keep it for the later half of the examination. If you get that extra amount of time, just solve it back then. But not wasting time with one particular question is a very, very big suggestion from our side as well. Then the second point, do not hop through the questions without solving them. I'll make you explain with a particular experience actually. Like when you hop through 60 questions, even if you're hopping without reading them properly, if you're trying to hop at least even 30 questions out of them now, it will cost you around 1 minute. 1 minute, if you calculate in a manner of like how many easy questions you could have solved in 1 minute, that comes around 2 to 3. And if you're trying to hop for all the 60 questions, that will cost you around 3 to 6 marks for sure. So don't do that. This is a very, very big suggestion again from our side. Like like particular read one question. If you feel that you are not able to do it, just mark it for the later half and go ahead with the next section. But try to solve, like don't just go on hopping. That will cost you a lot of time just to check what kind of questions you have got, right? So that is one suggestion. A third suggestion would be like do not rely on calculators. There are different examinations we understand for which you are allowed to carry a calculator, not carry actually, you will be given a virtual calculator on your system. But in Snap, you don't get that luxury, and the calculations are not that hectic as well. So basically, for Snap examinations, we would suggest never rely on any kind of calculators when you're practicing at home. So that like once you are starting to like adapting yourself with the calculator, even the easiest of calculations during the examination will like cost you a few extra moments. So keep that in mind and don't use calculators even when you're practicing at home. And the fourth point that happens with everybody, irrespective of how much of suggestions we give. In fact, I am giving the suggestion and I have faced it myself. Do not panic if you are unable to solve a question. There would be few questions where like you if you see the question, you know that you can solve it, but you're not able to solve it for any particular reason. Maybe you have forgotten the formula, or you're not able to put it in a particular shape for which you are not able to solve it instantly. So don't panic in that particular situation. Okay. And if you're not able to do it, keep it marked and solve it later on, but just move on. And as from this year, like there are 3 attempts of Snap. You can attempt all the 3 examinations that are being conducted. So even if you're giving your Snap 1 or Snap 2, keep this in your mind. You have a extra chance. You have an extra chance in the next half, right? So don't panic, be calm, and give your examination well. So that is one of the key factors.
So exam is a part of a journey, but the destination of your journey is surely your dream B school. So our B school has three specialization, which is system and finance, marketing and finance, and analytics and finance. Finance is the minor, compulsory minor, and systems is the major. You got a specialization which you have to choose in the second semester. Aniket?
Yeah. So Navneet, I have a question for you over here. Like since you're mentioning the domains and all, like can you just share any of your favorite moments that you have spent on the campus of
Uh,
SIDTM?
there are many moments like when we came, we have the ice breaking session in which we
Yeah,
had dance on the helipad. We had many functions. We have also the Ganesh Chaturthi celebration, which was celebrated with dhol tasha and with lot of
right,
lights and sounds and DJs and whatnot all. And we also have many multiple sports event with seniors and juniors participating with
right.
full of energy and enthusiasm. So SLETM is fun, bro. It is a fun.
Yeah. And you can also tell about your football experience. You have won it, right? The
Yeah,
juniors versus
yeah.
seniors match.
So we had a football match in which the juniors, the first year student defeated the seniors, and we have won by, I guess, 4-0 or 3-0 goals. So the campus is huge. It is lovely, and I am sure that once you get in this campus, you will enjoy this.
And not to forget, the seniors has defeated us in the tug of war.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So let's go on the next
Mm,
slide.
okay.
Okay, this is one of the most important factors for which a student is driven towards a college. This is the placement, like figures. So you can already have a look on the placement figures in the slide. And the stellar placement figures of SIDTM are actually like can view it on the screen. And as SIDTM, we take our placements very seriously actually, and we walk towards them very rigorously. As a result, a lot of our students receive PPOs from world-class companies, and a number of PPOs that we have been receiving are actually growing year by year. So it's improving a lot. And for more information, if you require any other details, we would suggest please visit the website, like the SIDTM's official website, where the further details are already provided, and you can find it over there.
So we would like to have some questions here, Aniket.
Yeah, so we can find a lot of questions. Well, I'll start. Yeah, there is one particular question where someone has asked. Just one moment. Yeah, I get it. Prakhar Gupta has asked, how do I manage time while studying? Well, Prakhar, what we can suggest you over here is that managing time while studying is like, that is completely a very personal experience. It's completely dependent on you, how you want to manage that particular time. Basically, like if you're working, then you have to like maintain a particular balance between your work life and your educational life where you are trying to study. So I am an like person with 4 year work ex, and I have completely prepared for the snap examination while I was working. So for me it was like after 9 hours of a shift, I used to take a bit of break for 1 or 2 hours. After that, just sit for 2 hours or 3 hours, try to solve, get some sleep, and the cycle needs to be repeated. It is basically a repetition. If you can continue this for a considerate amount of time, you can completely like maintain that balance. Navneet?
Jessica Thomas has asked one question, that how do I increase my accuracy in quantitative ability? So Jessica, I was also weak in quant section. So what I did was that I used to practice a lot of questions ranging from easy to difficult level. And I tried to solve that question within 1 minute. And if I don't know any questions, I try to look at the solution first. And after that, I used to write the solution. And basically, I used to learn that solution, because that it feels like I have learned that I know how to solve that. And I also practice previous year question paper, and that helps us understanding the pattern of snap, and also the section it gives. We have to give the utmost importance. So basically, practicing and realizing your mistakes will help you develop your accuracy. You can apply this in your mocks, and we have provided many mocks on our website. The link is in the description.
Okay, the next question is from Sahil Kapoor. He has mentioned that he is weak in quants. How do I manage my time in that particular section? Well, Sahil, quants, like this is something you can only improve with practice. Until unless you are like practicing day in day out with those particular, like if you feel that you are particularly weak in a particular section of quants, practice that more and more, and try to analyze what kind of questions are there in maximum numbers, be it arithmetic, be it algebra, or probability, mensuration, trigonometry. So analyze. What we have seen from our experience previously is that the maximum number of questions are revolving around arithmetic. Then there is a bit of algebra, and you can find at least, not at least, like at the most, two questions from probability. So it's up to you whether you need to enhance in that particular, that particular subject or not. Or else, like arithmetic is a must. You have to know all the formulas, basic formulas, average, then ratio, allegation. These kind of topics are like these are must. You will find at least 10 questions like combining all these topics. Then there is algebra, trigonometry. You need to memorize the formulas, because these kind of questions, mensuration and trigonometry, without formula, there is no way you can solve it. So that would be a suggestion. Practice, solve more and more mock papers. That is going to enhance your performance.
Uh, Aniket, there is a nice question asked by Nanisha Gupta. So the question is, should I apply for all three attempts of SNAP examination? So basically, I can say it depends on you, that if you want to have the more chance of getting into good B school, and if you think that you need three attempts, then you should go for it. But I would suggest that you should attempt all three, because at the end of the day, it will be beneficial for you. And maybe you are very nervous and unsure about the pattern in the first try, so you could mess up your exam. So three attempts would be help very helpful for you, and having three attempts would ensure that you keep on performing even better after every attempt. Because even if you don't perform well in one examination, it is all right, because you have another two attempt, because three attempt is good, and you can go for three attempt. I would suggest that.
Yeah, basically, you never go on a war without a backup. So backup is suggested,
Correct, Aniket.
and
Correct.
this is what like that will keep you safe. That's it. If you want to, like, if you are confident that you can crack it in one go, then you can. Obviously, there is no force or no, like, there is nothing that we would be suggesting it is a must. But a suggestion is that apply for all the three, because this has been started from this year. Because remember, it is not how your examination is going. Like, your score is going to depend on how others examination are going as well, right? So my suggestion, go ahead with all the three attempts. That is the best solution to be safe.
Luna asked the question, are Kelsey allowed? Unfortunately, Luna, Kelsey is not allowed. And I would say you that do not use calculator even when you are giving mocks or you are practicing, because SNAP is a time-based exam and you should know how to do calculation in your mind. So yeah, please don't use Kelsey while giving mocks too.
Okay, Luna has also asked one particular question, which I find interesting. How many SNAP exams did you give? Share your personal story. Okay, so Luna, the thing is that during our time, the maximum attempts were two. I have given two examinations, SNAP 1 and SNAP 3. Those were my two attempts. Basically, like I thought giving the first one and keeping a gap between 1 and 3 would be beneficial, because if I identify a few errors in the first SNAP examination, so that I can rectify it by SNAP 3. So I had given two examinations and I was selected on the basis of the score of my SNAP 3. So basically it helped me out giving two attempts.
Sanket asked the question, which mocks you guys gave? Sanket, I gave mocks from C2C Mentors and from Kraku, and I also attempted all the previous year SNAP papers that helped me a lot. And personally, I would also suggest you that you should solve each and every previous year question paper that would be of same difficulty level coming years. So yeah.
Okay, now Sandeep Singh has a question. How much marks or percentile I want to score for SIDTM? So basically, Sandeep, the percentile is in the hands of SIU, the Symbiosis International University, and it is not revealed until like the examinations end, and it also depends on a lot of factors. Like we basically as students are not aware of. Even the faculties, I'm not sure whether they are aware of, because this is an institutional level thing. So SIU solely is responsible for all these figures. But if you ask for a safe percentile, I would suggest 85 plus will definitely like get you in SIDTM for the selection process. Basically, after that there will be GEPI VAT. 50% of the marks like weightage also depends on that.
Also, you can follow SIDTM last year's mock, which was provided. They provide very good mocks to us. So you can follow the SIDTM mocks. They are available in the description link.
All right. Okay, Lisa has a question. Can you please elaborate on the placements and companies visiting SIDTM? As we have mentioned, like you can go through the SIDTM dossier, the placement dossier basically. You can find all the details over there, and like how many companies and what are the figures and the conversion. Everything is mentioned in the official website. You can go and visit it over there.
There is one more question from Nanisha. Which section you attempt first and which section will take less time? I think which section you attempt first is depends on person to person, but which section will take the least time is that it is verbal ability, because they are the most straightforward questions, and if you know basic grammar, you could solve the whole verbal ability section not more than in 10 to 12 minutes. You can done and does the complete section. So I would suggest you that you would attempt the verbal ability section first.
Sure. And there is also one question for Mansimran Kaur. How can you solve questions within 1 minute? For me to achieve this is very difficult. Obviously, Mansimran, it is difficult. So basically, even when we started, it was not possible for us. Even it took more than like 2 minutes for a few questions as well. That is the initial stage. But with practice, you have to ensure that you are cutting it down. If not like less than 1 minute, try to solve it within 70 to 80 seconds. That is the max that you can invest. You can actually analyze, like like you have 60 questions, 60 minutes. If you divide it, it falls into 60 seconds per question. But obviously there will be few questions for which you will not require 60 seconds, and there will be few questions for which you will be not requiring for which you will be actually requiring more than 60 seconds. So the mathematics falls like this. Average, going by average, you should not be investing more than 60 seconds for the easy to moderate level questions. And if that is not permitting you, practice more so that you can get into the groove. That is the only solution.
Aniket, we have a question from Aniket, another Aniket.
Okay.
So minimum how much questions should I do? Um, Minimum how much? I think it depends on your speed and accuracy. If your speed is good, you can do all 60 questions. But if you think that your accuracy is less, then you should stick to the number around 50 to 52. I would suggest you do at least 50 plus attempts with high accuracy in order to fetch good percentile. I will request you to please focus on your accuracy. After that, please focus on your speed. So accuracy is the must. After that, you could do more questions and attempt more and more questions.
Right. We have another question from Phoenix. I already earn 14 LPA, so taking SIDTM will further benefit or not? Okay. So see, our batchmates are also people who have worked for 4 years of work, including me. I have worked for more than 4 years. And so it's a mix of people and packages. If you like coming, if you're wanting a particular college only on the basis of like package or something, there would be mixed answers actually. But coming to SIDTM is going to definitely benefit you. And the as you can visit and have a look at our like the placement dossier, there are like packages that are being offered more than 14 as well. So you can have a look over there. Navneet, are you going with the next question?
Yeah. There is a question from Yatharth Pandey. How many marks are safe enough to clear SNAP? Clearing SNAP would, I think it depends on which college you are targeting. So it is completely dependent on the percentile and how others perform, because it is a percentile based game. So if the paper was tough, the marks would be less, and if the paper was easy, then the marks would require to be more. I would suggest from a medium level point of view to try to attempt at least 50 plus in your SNAP, so that you could get with 90-95% accuracy, you could fetch around 47-46% of marks. So that would be a safe score for the dream college you're targeting.
All right. And we have another question from Sanket. How did you prepare for GDPI after examination? So Sanket, we'll also be conducting practice sessions for GDPI VAT after like the examinations are over. So I would suggest click on the bell button to make sure that you are being alerted when these kind of webinars are going to go live. Then
Yes,
you'll get to know everything.
Please subscribe SIDTM YouTube channel. You would get all the updates related to the GDPIs and the what.
Yeah, and we also have our annual meet with the students, SimConnect, SIDTM's flagship program actually. You can also join in over there to get further details as well.
Aniket, I think we don't have any more questions.
Yeah, almost all the questions are covered. Like guys, if you have any further questions, you can put it in.
So guys, wish you all the very best for your SNAP attempt. Do your best, focus on your time, and all the best.
Yeah. And we wish to see a lot of you with us the next year. Best of luck.
Thank you.